Today, UPS will deliver 15 million packages in more than 220 countries and territories around the globe. In the process, we will connect individuals, empower businesses, and societies of all sizes. We will take care, we will keep track, we will deliver.
UPS trades in the national and global logistics market, which itself is an oligopoly market type. An oligopoly contains between 4 to 20 companies competing in the same type of service. The logistics market varies between global and national. There are very few that provide the overall global service. The freedom of entry for new companies is unlimited, but they have obstacles to overcome when entering. In an oligopoly, companies are locked within a competitive market and have to use a specific focus to differentiate themselves from others. Some companies focus on price, whilst others focus on the flexibility of parcel size and speed. In this instance, the main focus for UPS can be simplified as the butler image of the logistics market. UPS portrays itself as a butler in terms of being quietly operating behind the scenes in a very efficient and promising manner. Hence, UPS does not strive to be the cheapest, but does differentiate themselves in terms of service quality, promise and outstanding customer service and relationships. The main rivals for UPS in this particular oligopoly would be DHL and FedEx. UPS has to monitor the performance and direction of these competitors, which determines the price and standards of the logistics industry and, at the same time, differentiate themselves in order to compete. In regards to the strategic grouping, UPS would be considered to be at the higher end of the market. This would be due to the level and range of services provided. Therefore, it would come at a higher premium in comparison to fellow competitors.
After long and booming company growth, UPS did not get through the recent recession period without any consequences. However, since 2009, the company's performance has been always recovering and looking to its financial statements that should increase steadily in the future. UPS shows positive sales growth rate of 8% compared to the last year and 3% growth rate in 5-year annual average, keeping in mind that it was affected by economic downturn. But UPS is successfully recovering from the recession period and is back on the business growth cycle. The bargaining power of suppliers is limited in the aircraft and transportation industry, and the cost of fuel is a major expense to these companies. The bargaining power of other suppliers such as packaging is low because being a large company, they are able to buy packaging materials in bulk quantities, which will make the price cheap and they can change suppliers easily. The high turnover in the industry is the reason that attracts newcomers. To be able to survive in the industry, new entrants need lots of capital to be able to beat the current companies, but it is unlikely because current companies have already lots of capital, experience, a loyal customer base, which new entrants might not have. Competition among current companies are increasing, and because they are not competing with the price, current companies have to create non-stop improvement in quality, customer service, and technology. There's a very low switching cost for consumers in this industry, which make competition even more fierce. Strong competition is also due to the fact that maintaining the transportation of an express delivery company presents an exit barrier due to high fixed costs. The bargaining power of buyers is high because there are lots of competitors in the industry. Therefore, buyers are able to choose with what company they are going to use, which means costs associated with switching from one shipping service to another is very low. It is unlikely that there will be substitute for logistic industry. Maybe there will be substitute in the future, but for now it seems very low because there is no other way to deliver parcels and letters without using vehicles, ships, or aircraft.
Political issues. The current debt crisis affecting the European nations can have a negative impact in international expansion in the near future. Also, recent incidents of terrorist attacks in various parts of the world has increased security, which could prove detrimental to parcel and courier services. Economical issues. The current global recession has meant an economical downturn for all major companies in the world. This has led to fluctuating interest rates and unstable exchange rates, and a rise in unemployment in all major cities in the world. All these factors contributed to an uncertain and unstable stock market. Social issues. In spite of the massive rise in unemployment, there has been an increasing demand in the labor market for skilled workers. This could be due to an aging population and changes in demographics. Technological issues. The rapid advancement in technology could make it harder for most companies to be ahead of the competition. This could also lead to an opportunity to expand and develop online features, creating new markets. It could also mean a possibility of new product or service that could replace parcel services, creating a threat for companies the likes of UPS. Environmental. Weather conditions such as snow, flooding, ice and hurricanes are responsible for delayed or undeliverable situations. Flight cancellations and delays imposed by local airports can affect UPS to a considerable degree as it transports a great deal of its packages by air. National emergencies such as earthquakes, acts of terrorism or riots can also lead to delays in the transporting of packages. Going green is another important environmental factor as it massively contributes to public relations. Legal issues. For a company operating in multiple countries such as UPS, it means being aware of and having to adhere to each country's customs and laws. This can include international trade laws, employee rights laws, and competition law.
Corporate strategy. Advantage in this strategy is that UPS saw the gap in the market by focusing on Southeast Asia, mainly in China, because Southeast Asia is a growing business industry and not many companies have invested in these countries yet. Therefore, UPS saw the opportunity and entered the market. Because every logistic company has similar pricing, instead of reducing the price, UPS focused on building even better customer service and fulfill their needs with new tailor-made service and improved technology. Customers are nowadays very aware of sustainability issue. Therefore, they choose companies who look after the environment the most and take responsibility of what's happening to the world. Therefore, UPS has taken serious action to make the environment better by using recyclable materials like envelopes and packaging materials, and as well reusable envelopes. UPS have also tried to cut carbon emission by using electric cars, vehicles that use less fuel, and aircraft that have lower flight speed. Disadvantage of this strategy is that they don't seem to focus on getting new customers enough or do advertising. They also try to cut down carbon food energy, but how this will actually work if they keep expanding more worldwide, which means increasing numbers of vehicles, aircraft, and packaging materials. The main competitive advantage of UPS would be the butler-style service that they provide. In comparison to others, such as FedEx, UPS does not compete on price but rather on quality of service. UPS also have a mailing service similar to the setup of the US National Mailing Service named USPS. In direct competition with USPS, UPS does not compete on price but instead compare and compete on product delivery and quality. UPS also placing focus on going green. Fleet of vehicles are going green where possible and packaging made out of recyclable materials and they reuse them again. UPS also advertised themselves as the eco-friendly logistic company.
As a conclusion, UPS can be seen to be meeting the needs of its customers, primarily by going green wherever they can, which is in line with current issues of lack of natural resources. They are also maintaining high service standards regardless of the financial downturn. UPS is also making good use of technology to enhance the customer focus. When it comes to other stakeholders, this can be seen by the rising share prices. There is also ongoing expansion to the Far East, which is in view of prolonged sustainability.